We've got a lot of ground to cover on today's show, so let's just jump right into it, starting with the latest on Myles Garrett. Head coach Kevin Stefanski talking with the media today and was, of course, asked about the biggest story, and that is Garrett, his status, his availability, everything relating to 95. Kevin Stefanski would not rule out Myles Garrett for this upcoming Sunday's matchup, and my personal takeaway is I'm guessing Myles wants to play, and he'll probably receive some pushback from teammates and the front office saying, listen, man, we know maybe you think you can go, but you also just came out of a pretty serious car accident. Let's pump the brakes and not act like the Falcons is the Super Bowl. John Johnson said he should probably relax a little bit and maybe not try and rush himself back. So we're going to have to wait and see what Myles' status is for Sunday as we get closer, but it's got to be optimistic just for the long-term aspect that Kevin Stefanski didn't come out and immediately say he is inactive, he is not going to play for the foreseeable future, whatever it is. Also, he was asked about Jadeveon Clowney. He is currently day-to-day, so we'll see how he fares getting closer to Sunday. So that's the latest on 95. We've got a lot of news and rumors to get to on today's show. First story we're going to get to following the Myles Garrett update, Jacoby Brissett. Could he keep Deshaun Watson's job? He has been awesome through 3 weeks, but he's never going to be awesome enough to hold on to this job. This is fake news for a lot of reasons. One, the fun idea was, well, what if Jacoby Brissett is 11-0? Well, best he can do at this point is 10-1, and let's be honest, that's probably not in the cards with some tough games coming up here. Now, Mary Kay was asked in a mailbag article she did, hey, is there any way Jacoby Brissett could hold on to the starting job even when Deshaun Watson is eligible? And we'll look at what she said word for word, but she did say it's not an absolute guarantee that Deshaun Watson takes his job back. I've got some pushback on that. I think it is a guarantee. They did not give Deshaun Watson nearly $250 million to watch the Jacoby Brissett show. I don't care how good Brissett is. And that's so sad to say, but that is the situation we are in. Jimmy Haslam, D. Haslam, Andrew Berry, and Kevin Stefanski did not go through an absolute media and public shitstorm to just watch Jacoby Brissett continue to play. No, they want to see their $230 million man as soon as possible, and that is Week 12 against the Houston Texans. It won't even be in Stefanski's hands, honestly. Haslam will come down, probably do that awkward thing where he puts his hands on your shoulders, gives a little bit of a squeeze, and goes, how's 4 looking? Because he's playing this Sunday. I don't care how well Brissett is playing. Here's what Mary Kay said, though, word for word. I've learned to never say never in this business, but the plan is definitely to start Deshaun Watson when he's eligible to return against his former team in Houston on December 4th. The Browns acquired Watson for his elite skill set and have every intention of taking full advantage of that in the final 6 games and what they hope are the playoffs. If Brissett far exceeds expectations and is a major reason why the Browns are winning and in the hunt, I'm sure they'll weigh all the pros and cons of handing the keys to Watson. If he can hand 6 victories over to Watson, they'll have a decent chance to make the playoffs. But they took this enormous risk on for Watson for a reason, and I believe it will be his team down the stretch. This is what I was saying. Stop it. Don't even give a little bit of air or light to this tunnel of, could Jacoby Brissett force a difficult decision on the Browns? No. They are going to give this team over to Deshaun Watson. They endured a lot. They do not want to go through all that, only to just say, you know what? Let's see how Brissett fares against the Texans. He's looked sharp the last couple of weeks. And I'm not trying to discredit what's been an awesome start to the season for Jacoby Brissett. He is just in a lose-lose situation. No matter what. Doesn't matter how well he plays, this is Deshaun Watson's team. Nearly 600 yards and 4 touchdowns through 3 games so far. He has exceeded my expectations. He has looked better and better as the weeks have gone on. But make no mistake, this will be Deshaun Watson's team come Week 12. But if you disagree with me, that's fine. That's how we roll here at Chat Sports. We are all about audience interaction. So let me know, who will be the starting quarterback for Week 12 against Houston? Deshaun Watson or Jacoby Brissett? All right, before we move on to the next segment, I do want to give Jacoby Brissett a couple more kudos and love here because he has been great so far. And that has been recognized even by the nerds at PFF, who currently have Jacoby Brissett as the third highest rated QB. That's pretty impressive stuff, right? For Jacoby Brissett to be ranked above Josh Allen, above Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, it just speaks and gives a lot of credit to with the play calls and his decisions. He has made the right decision a lot of times. He had some missed throws in week 1, but things have been sharper the last 2 weeks. Now, in case you're wondering, quick refresher on the Deshaun Watson timeline. He can return to the team facility October 10th, which, looking at my calendar, is creeping up. It's September 28th right now, almost here. November 14th, he can begin practicing. That's a ways away. And then December 4th is that Week 12 matchup against the Houston Texans. We've got more news and rumors to get to in just a second, but it is officially Atlanta Falcons hate week here at the channel. And we've got a competition right now between the Browns Report and Falcons Today, race to 100 subscribers. Slight lead early on for the good guys, but let's bury the Falcons. Help me do that. Even a friendly wager. I get to punch the Falcons Today host here at Chat Sports, which is sort of myself because we lost the Falcons Today host. So I don't know how I'm going to do this. I might have to just punch myself in the face. Or maybe I'll bring on Marshall Green. He is beloved in ATL. So whatever it is, whoever I'm punching, whether it's myself, make sure you hit that big red button and subscribe to get latest Browns news and rumors. All right, next story to get to here. Kareem Hunt contract extension. Could we see this happen midseason? I'm giving this one Bernie head. It's above fake news. It's not out of the cards here. Do I think it's likely? No, I don't think it is very likely. Now, Kareem Hunt has been fantastic, kind of as we all thought he would be too, through 3 games. But he is 27 years old. He's on the last year of his contract. Does Andrew Berry really want to give 2 older running backs contract extensions? He did so with Nick Chubb last season. I don't think he's probably going to want to run it back with Kareem Hunt this season. Now, Hunt, if you remember, requested a trade back in training camp, and that trade holdout lasted like 12 hours. It was a kind of short and frankly pathetic trade request because it was never going to be honored. And not ruling out a trade right now, but the Browns, they don't look like the team that wants to start selling pieces after a 2-1 start. So, could a mid-season contract extension happen for Kareem Hunt? Here's what Mary Kay said in her latest write-up. I think there's a chance that the Browns will allow Hunt to test the free agent waters, considering they've drafted forward and also have Demetric Felton. But if he continues to play well and has a great season, the chances of the Browns extending him or re-signing him will increase. It will likely come down to money, and the Browns won't want to break the bank for a 28-year-old running back. But I'm sure they'd like to have him back at the right price. And with players such as Nick Chubb going to bat hard for him, that will certainly help. He's going to get a lot of touches in the early going, so that will also help. I'm going to kind of cherry pick and ride off of what Mary Kay said here, right? They're not going to want to roll out the red carpet and give a lot of money to a 28-year-old, will be then 28-year-old running back next September. But if Kareem Hunt wants to take a hometown discount, right? The guy from Northeast Ohio went to college in Toledo. Maybe then Andrew Berry goes, if you are dying to finish your career as a Cleveland Brown and don't mind taking less money here and you're coming off a great season, sorry, Jerome Ford, but yeah, we'll run it back with 24 and 27 again. Now, this depth chart here is a pretty important factor in this equation because Jerome Ford would make moving on from Kareem Hunt a lot easier. He was great in the preseason. He has definitely shown he is ready to take on a bigger workload. So the Browns might go the cheaper path and let Kareem Hunt walk in free agency, maybe get a comp pick for him as well, and have a lot of confidence in Jerome Ford, Nick Chubb, and another rookie running back, or maybe even Demetric Felton, but he's been pretty horrid so far. Now, Kareem Hunt this season has been great. I think the funny thing is we always like to say Nick Chubb goes between the tackles, Kareem Hunt is your change of pace back. I don't really think that's true. He only has 9 receptions through 3 games. Let's not act like Kareem Hunt is only good through the air. No, he is right there with Nick Chubb between the tackles. He's just got to be the yin to the yang, right? He's got to be the white to the black cookie, right? That little like half and half mix. I don't know what it's called. It was in Seinfeld. It got Elaine sick. Anywho, Kareem Hunt has been awesome so far. So is Nick Chubb. It's just fun to look at these stats and remember that the Browns have the current NFL leading rusher in carries, rushing yards, and touchdowns in Nick Chubb. And Kareem Hunt is right there with him. Now, I want you guys to decide here. Be the GM for me. Should the Browns extend Kareem Hunt? E for extend or P for pass? Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comment section. Now, we've got another big story to get to in just a moment. But first, Fanatics, our proud sponsor, has an awesome deal for you guys, and it's currently on sale. It is the famous t-shirt jersey, the Jersey, all right? If you don't want to fork up a lot of dough to get an official Cleveland Browns jersey, that's fine. They're expensive, and there's nothing worse than getting a jersey and the player leaves. But a great way to rep your favorite player while also not breaking the bank is by going to chatsports.com/brownshirt. It's on sale, like I said, so take advantage of this deal right now. Get a Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, whatever player you fancy, or you can be creative. Put 69 and nice as your last name. Get custom, get creative with it. Just make sure you go to chatsports.com/brownshirt. That link in the comments and the description of today's show. Final rumor to get to. Jedrick Wills. Is he a legit left tackle? I'm going to go two Bernie heads. The reason why we're talking about Jed Wills is because ESPN came out with their pass block win rate, which we just got to take their word for it because I don't watch every single tackle snap across the NFL. And they had him ranked second best in the entire NFL among all tackles. Now, Wills is entering a very important season because after this year, Andrew Berry has to decide whether or not to pick up Jed Wills' fifth-year option. So the question kind of becomes, is he a franchise left tackle? When you take someone in the first round, you hope they become a staple of your team for years to come, especially at the offensive line, so you can kind of check that box and just have a nice, good sigh of relief of, we're good up front. Let's focus our attention elsewhere. But here was ESPN's rankings of offensive tackle pass block win rate, with Jedrick Wills coming in second, right there with Lane Johnson at 96%, only behind right tackle Brian O'Neill from the Minnesota Vikings. Let's also give some love to James Hudson. He's tied for seventh, with producer Trace's New Orleans Saints James Hurst at 95%. So maybe the Browns are going to look at this and go, we can roll with Jack Conklin and James Hudson, but Conklin, he is also entering the last year of his deal. Maybe it's Wills and Hudson for years to come. We're going to have to wait and see. Barry will have some decisions to make. Now, Pro Football Focus so far this year hasn't been the kindest to Jedrick Wills. Overall grade, 56.7. It's kind of bottom half. 57 out of 70th among all qualifying tackles. Better in pass blocking, 59.6. Run blocking is 51.3. Has yet to have a penalty on him, but he has given up 2 sacks so far this year. I think an important number to start to keep an eye on as we get closer and closer to that big decision that Andrew Berry has to make is $13.9 million. That is the projected value for Jedrick Wills' fifth-year option in 2024. Does Andrew Berry want to pay Wills nearly $14 million? We'll have to wait and see. You can look at it two ways. GMs love a good bargain. They love good value. But $14 million in 2024, that would have Wills around 8th highest on payroll. A lot of football has to be played before then, but I definitely don't think it's out of the cards that Andrew Berry decides, let's pick up the fifth-year option, get 2 more years of Jedrick Wills, and we'll wait and see if he's the long-term guy. If not, we can always draft a new tackle earlier in the draft, but we don't have a first-round pick for the next few drafts here, so that's something to monitor for sure. Now, I want you guys to predict this for me. Will Andrew Berry pick up that fifth-year option? Still got a whole season pretty much to play, but try and get ahead of the curve here. Y for yes or N for no. Now, before we let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your day, it is time for comment of the day. This was one of my favorite comments we've seen on a video recently. Comes from Christopher Gutierrez saying, Lawrence Taylor wrecked his Ferrari on the way to a game. Got a ride, was late, and still played. True story. I don't think it's a good idea for Myles to play this weekend. Prayers for a speedy recovery. This could have been really bad. Indeed, hoping the best for Myles Garrett. I tried to look up this Lawrence Taylor story you mentioned, Christopher. All I could find was that he hit some police cruiser, so he seems like he's gotten a couple car accidents. I don't really know. But that was the comment of the day for today's show. Signing off, we'll see you guys later with more Browns news and rumors.